So, Strevs, a big win that to end the year. That must be a satisfying afternoon for you.
Yeah, look, contrasting halves obviously from our point of view, we wasn't where we wanted to be in the first half. And I just spoke to him about that after the game, just the response to do what we did second half, and we've done it a few times this season. But we've got to find a formula not to keep having to do that. The resilience and the togetherness they did to turn the game around in the second half is credit to them. But if they start games like that, by 60, 70 minutes, hopefully games will be done and dusted. So, but the big thing out of today is responding, going a goal behind, and then being better than us. Certainly the last half hour of the first half, they was very good, played some good stuff, showed what a good team they are, and they was brilliant last year as well. They was probably one of the best teams in the league last year. And it reminded me a lot of last season when we was 1-0 down half time, we come back and beat them 2-1. So, look, a nice 3 points to end the year, and I think our home form, I think someone just said to me, there's like 16 home wins in that calendar year, which is really good. We should be looking to build on that now going into the new year with Weymouth turning up here in a second.
Yeah, so it was a fairly even start, but as you mentioned, they did kind of take hold of the game in the first half. Obviously, not how we wanted to go into the break, but as you mentioned, you must be delighted with our response.
Yeah, look, there's not many times as a manager when you just want a half-time whistle to come by. I did today because I was sort of not happy with things, and they certainly had the ascendancy in the game. I think the way they was playing, they was right on the front foot, certainly attacking their fans, which were unbelievable first half, right behind them. And we needed to, at half-time as a group, respond, and I think our fans responded to that as well. There was much better second half, getting right behind the boys, and they had something to shout about and get behind. But yeah, look, credit to them, and listen, it certainly is probably a factor that they played 48 hours ago and we didn't. But we wanted to play 48 hours ago. It's going to come down to the integrity of the league and teams in the league to do the right things. We wanted to be playing Boxing Day. We didn't want to have extra rest in Torquay. Certainly, if I was Gary Johnson, I'd be going. We played Boxing Day, now we're coming here, and we've got the ascendancy second half. Some of the levels of their players would have dropped because that's the nature of football, and ours got stronger. But that's now got to come down to managers, football clubs to do the right things. If you genuinely got lots of COVID cases, then the games get called off. If there's other things going on to make sure you don't play the games of football, then that comes down to integrity and how you want to do things. So I feel for them today. We've had longer rest than them. It's a factor, 100% it is, and our energy levels the second half. But also it needed the boys to make sure that they did it. That endeavour, that willingness to push each other on, to win second balls, win battles with the quality to come through. And it doesn't just happen, they made it happen in the second half, and that was what I was really pleased with the most.
Yeah, you mentioned that even though other factors may have played a part, we still had to come out and perform, and the lads did that straight away. Tom Whelan got us level with a penalty. That must be good for him, especially after missing at Dagenham a few weeks ago, to find that hit the back of the net again.
Yeah, look, he wasn't under any pressure for me. The boys put him under pressure because there was about 4 or 5 of them saying they wanted to take the next penalty, but it's always been the way that I've done things. It's you miss a penalty, that's one, you get to take the next one. And Wheeler wanted to take it, and I've got full confidence in him as a player and his technique to score them. You can miss penalties, everyone does. It's the ones that want to step up and take him again. So no, I'm delighted for him to see it go in. He dispatched it really well. And it's a pressurised situation. Being 1-0 down, like I'm saying, in front of their crowd and stuff like that. Great technique, good penalty, and it was nice to see it going in. And then I think he got an assist as well after that. So really pleased for him getting another goal.
Yeah, and the winner from Tybo, almost a textbook header from him. Another player who's not found the back of the net in recent weeks. Again, must be great for him and for yourself. The confidence in him. Yeah,
look, him and Danny are both very similar players in terms of they're reliant on the good balls going into the box, the service that goes in there, and Paul McCallum leading into Tyrone Barnett, and now Danny being around it as well. They're the type of players, and it was obviously looking at in the analysis you do on teams. They had Moxie playing left side centre half, who's been a brilliant left back in his career, but now moved to centre half. But I felt that them balls, diagonal balls in there, or balls to that back stick would be the area to try and get chances today. Good ball in. Ty doing what Ty does, and he's doing it. They'll probably be a little bit disappointed, I'd imagine. The keeper didn't save it, but it's slippery service, I'd imagine, from defending goalkeepers. But yeah, it's textbook Ty, and he's been brilliant. He's an excellent person, an excellent pro. Wants to play every minute. I have to keep chopping and changing it to bring him in and out of the team to try and keep him fresh. I know why I'm doing it. Sometimes I'm having to hold him back because he loves football and he wants to play. But him and Dutchy as my 2 real experienced boys in the group. I thought Dutchy was brilliant again today. They're the leaders, them 2 and Boise, to back them up. And I thought Ty led from the front, and they had Dutchy certainly second half leading in the midfield area as well.
Yeah, and obviously fantastic in front of goal for us to turn it around, but the defence at the end, they did have to hold firm again. We've seen it in recent weeks, so it might not be a surprise, but again, it must be satisfying to see.
Yeah, and look, it is. You know, I haven't spoke about it too much, but when you was there watching it pre-season, we was playing Boise with Josh Hare, Michael Kelly. I think Joe Thompson before he left played centre half, trialists. We'd never got a settled defence for pre-season leading into understanding what we wanted them to do going into the season, and it's been a factor in the first half of the season. 100% has, and that's not making excuses. It's a fact. You know, they're building partnerships. They're understanding what I want them to do in terms of stepping out with the ball. Jason works with the defence in terms of their techniques and their clearances and their positioning and stuff like that. And it's getting better all the time, but it needs constant work. You know, it does. And that's a regret of mine in the summer that things weren't in place leading into pre-season. I always want things so I know what I'm leading into. But whether it's Boise and Baldy today as a 2, it was Mags last week, did brilliant in there and he's been excellent. It was tough to lead him out today, really tough. I just wanted to go with a 4 because I thought they would be. But then at the end I needed Mags more than anyone, you know, him going on there alongside the other 2 centre-halves and Josh and Kells. And Kells coming in and replacing Vinny, who was suspended today, was excellent at left back as well. So we're pleased with them and they can get better all the time. You know, it's about building relationships, building partnerships, working together, keep working out, keep getting better at it, and not cracked it, but we're certainly a better defensive unit and a unit in front of them helping them than we was probably a couple of months ago.
And lastly, it's a 3 points to end the year to take into 2022. With Weymouth coming up, what are your aims for that game and also for the second half of the season overall?
I want to win. I want to beat Weymouth. I want to beat Weymouth on January the 2nd. You know, they've had a sort of break now in between with this COVID stuff, you know, and we know how hard that was for us coming out of it, you know, not playing a game for nearly 3 weeks and playing against Aldershot. So we've got to make sure that we're on it come January the 2nd and ready to go and, you know, try and get another 3 points to back up what we've done today. So this league's relentless and you need to win games continuously to get yourself in a good position, you know, and the teams that are doing that find themselves in and around the playoff places. We need that type of run that we're capable of to get us where we want to be. But home form's been very good this calendar year. Now we've got to take it into the next calendar year, you know, and that starts with Weymouth on January 2nd. And yeah, that's a good opportunity to say, listen, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and a happy New Year to all of them, and hopefully, like we did today in the second half, maybe not first half, but hopefully we can put some more smiles on faces come Weymouth on January the 2nd.